just before I start the video, I want to preface with the fact that all of these videos are improv. I don't script anything, it's just me freestyling. And occasionally you get a video like this where I cannot seem to hold one coherent thought for the length of the story. So bear with me as I try to spit facts into this mic, this $3 AliExpress mic. Venmo me at Alex Overgard if you want better mic quality. I'll buy another mic. So, on to the video. Today, I experienced two extremely different types of ego, and they were both fascinating experiences and very enlightening for somebody who doesn't really know what's going on, and that's going to be most of you, so listen up. So, ego number one. I went to Trader Joe's today, which is a hike for me because it's far away and I don't have a car. So I had to resort to using a bus, and the bus that takes students to Trader Joe's is for some reason the only bus that costs money. It costs $2.20. And when I got to the bus stop, I was like, damn, I don't have any cash because I don't carry ones around. I had money, but not ones, and they don't give you change. So historically, I've just put $3 into the machine and I've overpaid. And this is important because when the bus pulled up, I was like, damn, well, my only option now is to just ask the bus driver if I can ride free. So the doors open and I was like, hey, I don't have any money. Is it possible that I could ride this route free? I've overpaid the last couple routes. And I probably sounded as confident as I sound just now, which is not confident at all because this thought is not coherent. It's stressing me out, but we're working with it. And the bus driver gave me one of the most interesting responses ever. He just goes, he's looking at his fucking wheel, and he goes, whatever, and goes back to looking out the window or whatever. And I knew what just happened, so I was like, thank you, and got on the bus. Ego number one, the highly provocable ego. You're likely to find this ego under the circumstances of 1, the person doesn't live a very fulfilling life, and 2, they do not get a lot of recognition, either for things they've done or just in general, because they don't live with fulfillment. Like Tony Robbins gets boatloads of recognition and fulfillment, and they go hand in hand. This bus driver, likely very little. Probably 10% of the people getting off the bus are actually like, thank you, if that, because there's another door and they leave through the other door. So, me not having the funds to pay for this bus route provoked his ego, which, here's the thing. It wasn't a personal thing. If this was like, if the bus route company wasn't paying him, then it would be personal. If I was directly paying the vendor, it's personal. But this interaction wasn't personal, and he took it personally, which goes with having a provocable ego. I provoked it like that. And who does that benefit? Not him, that's for sure. I didn't take it personally, so it didn't negatively impact me, but for a lot of people it will. That's the first lesson. Don't take things personally, from either my perspective or from the egoic perspective. It doesn't help anybody. So, another point with this provocable ego is you can defuse it extremely fast, reduce it to nothing with a simple compliment. So I got on, I was like, thank you. I looked him in the eye and all this shit. And when I got off, instead of going out the way that everybody else goes out, I went out the front. It was the last stop, nobody was getting on, so I could go out the front. And I was like, thank you, man, I really appreciate it. And he was just like, yeah. 1, a little bit ashamed with how he treated me, and 2, in somewhat like gratitude for the fact that I appreciated it, because he probably doesn't get a lot of appreciation, as I mentioned. So that was ego number 1. Ego number 2, the one that barely exists. I got to Trader Joe's and I did my boatload of shopping, spent an all-time record, almost hit $200. Ridiculous. And overall, it was like 40 pounds of groceries. I weighed it when I got home because I had to carry it I had to carry it like a mile and a half home. It took me like a half an hour of just lugging groceries. Be strong to be useful. That's why we go to the gym. But I've had bags rip on me before. And when you're a mile away from the destination you need to be with 40 pounds of groceries and you don't have any help or a car or a shopping cart, I should have just fucking stolen a shopping. I'm kidding. So I approached the cashier and I was like, hey, I have a long way to walk with these groceries. Is it possible we could triple bag them? Because I've had double bags rip on me before. And this woman was extremely empathetic. She understood because she's seen kids come into the store with similar experiences, I'm sure. And instead of being like, no, 3 bags is way too many for one bag, like for one carry, as well, I'm not going to say some Trader Joe's employees will do that because I think extremely little of them, they're trained to have no ego like that. And they understand that it's not personal. The store is covering all costs. It doesn't cost them anything to help them. And this woman knew that. So she was just like, hey, why don't you pick out one of the reusable bags and I'll give it to you. And I was like, really? And she was like, yeah. So she gave me this, she didn't charge me for this reusable bag that would survive the way home. And it didn't cost her anything. It probably cost the store like 3 cents. But instead of taking it personally and getting upset over this specific request I had, she maneuvered a way to help me at no cost to herself. She had no ego involved whatsoever. Extremely kind woman, extremely great interaction. So I lugged all that stuff home, but it didn't really occur to me, her side of the ego, until I got home, because the first provocable ego, that's like an experience that would rock a lot of people. I don't know if I'm used to it or if I just don't take things personally because I find humans hilarious. But that was obviously a much more noticeable experience. The second one, however, was a lot more subtle, and it blended in a lot more with just with human interaction. Like, that was the right move, the right way to handle yourself in that situation. And it only occurred to me until earlier, like just now, recently, well, not just now, because I've been trying to film this one video for like a fucking hour, but it occurred to me that those are 2 extremely good examples of how you can control yourself. Like, you have complete control over this situation, and how you handle yourself is everything. So, key takeaways from this video: don't take things personally when people act crazy around you, because it has nothing to do with you, and the only thing you can do is not let it affect you. I'm sure you've seen the videos of, like, if you were given like $82,000 a day and somebody stole 5, would you spend money trying to like go after them? It translates to, like, if you have this many, I don't know how many seconds are in a day. If you have this many seconds in a day, are you really gonna put more seconds into thinking about a bad experience where somebody took seconds of your time? Or, sorry, this is not coherent at all, but you get what I'm saying, I hope. So that's the first lesson. Don't take things personally. The second lesson is, if you're somebody who has a very provocable ego, you probably want to keep that in check, because it's not helping you. It's not helping anybody else. And you can handle the situation better. I have confidence in you regarding that. If you don't think you can, drop a situation down in the comments where you got mad at someone for no reason at all and see if you can justify it. So I'll discuss with you. I'm happy to do that. That is all for today's video. Fortunately, I finally got this video produced. I'm sorry that the quality is not fantastic. I just had a weird day. And hopefully you learned something. If you think somebody can benefit from this video, share it to them. And if you think what I'm saying is straight facts, drop a subscription, because drop a subscription. I guess that's right. Hit that fucking subscribe button, because I'm going to drop a lot more lessons that you can learn from. So stay tuned for more. I'm rooting for you. I'm sure you're doing fantastic. That's it. Peace.